Welcome back, guys. I think you're really going to enjoy this video if you've never been to Colombia or you're thinking about moving here and living here long term. Apart from the weather and apart from the food and the cost of living, how people act in your country is very different to how they act here in Colombia. So today we're going to talk a little bit about that. I have Carolina here. She has a bit of an experience living in both countries, and she's going to tell us some things that shocked her when she went to the States and she actually lived there for a while. So first of all, Caro, can you tell us your relationship with the US?
So I did my master's degree in the States. I lived in Savannah in Georgia. I was there like for about 5 years. I studied and then I worked.
Many of us might come to Colombia and be shocked at things that people do here, but you had it the other way around.
Yeah, some of them are like, as a personal experience, were very shocking. Some were very funny, but I think it's something that we will enjoy talking about. Okay, so first of all, I think Colombians are very direct. For example, if you have gained weight or if something is different about your appearance, Colombians, when they first see you and they haven't seen you for a while, they're gonna talk about it. First thing is like, oh my God, you changed your color of hair. Oh my God, you gained so much weight. Oh my God, you look so skinny. Oh my God, you look taller now. What did you do? Or something like that.
That's pretty frowned upon in other cultures. It's kind of rude to say things like that, probably where you're from. You wouldn't go to someone and say, hey, you're gaining some weight.
Yeah. Yeah, like Colombians are gonna say it and they're gonna joke about it. And for sure, everyone that, like your group of friends, everyone is gonna notice it and everyone is gonna make a conversation about it. And I think that's a topic like in the States, they would never comment on how you're looking. Anything. They don't even talk about that. I didn't even see like, oh, the person walk away and I'm like, oh, did you see her hair? It's now pink. Like people would talk.
Even once someone's gone away, they don't talk behind their back about people.
The appearance.
But they definitely do that shit in Colombia, right?
Definitely.
They love.
Like they were gonna talk into your face, and once you step out the room, they're gonna still be comments about you.
What is the next big difference between Colombians and Americans when you went over there and you stayed in the States for 5 years? What did you really notice?
So this is what was my first day of school. Was used to like how I would go to school there here in Colombia. Made my hair, makeup, like I was dressed formally.
Okay.
Not like super formal, but formally for class. And then I went there and everyone was like wearing hoodies and pajamas and didn't seem like they had showered that day. I was like, what is this? And I think that's Latinos in general. We would look nice even to go out to the grocery shopping.
Yeah.
And in the States, it's like more acceptable to just... And also, like, for example, if I go downstairs to my tienda, I know everyone from my way up to the tienda. I know the people that work there. I know my neighbors. So they're going to be like...
What's wrong with them?
What happened to her this morning?
Yeah, and you had another point about like self-appearance and how people want to look to the public, right?
This is a very common thing in Colombia, is to always bring your toothbrush and your toothpaste to work.
Okay.
Because every time after we have lunch, everyone goes to the bathroom and brush their teeth. Like, that's a big thing here. You see it in malls, you see it in airports. If you go at lunchtime, you're gonna see the people that work at the mall brushing their teeth.
So if you go to the bathroom, everyone's going to be brushing their teeth?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So when I got my first job in the States, I packed my toothbrush and my toothpaste. And then, like, at the office, we all, like, had lunch, and then we came back, and I didn't see anyone, like, standing up and like...
This was on your first day?
On my first
day. So you were just looking around, oh, when's everyone, hey guys, when... Like...
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like everyone is like, oh, I'm gonna brush my teeth and come back, you know, here. And I was like, oh.
No one was brushing their teeth?
Their teeth.
So did you ask someone, hey, you
no.
want to go brush your teeth together, or...
No, I went to the bath secretly.
Okay.
And brushed my teeth.
Okay.
And then came back.
But how long did you do this for? Every day?
Yeah. Yeah.
Every day you went secretly, or eventually did you tell people, hey guys, in Colombia we brush our teeth during the lunch?
No, I was embarrassed.
You were embarrassed? So how long did you work there?
I was like for a year maybe.
So for a year, every day, secret teeth brushing.
Secret teeth brushing.
They're probably wondering, what the hell is she doing? Judging by how much, like, the time spent getting ready, doing their hair, picking nice clothes, brushing their teeth, feels like Colombians spend a lot of time just making themselves up every day. It's a full-time job in itself. So what's the next one on the list of things that you found very strange or very different when you were living in the US?
Okay, the third one I would say is like the sense of closeness and family, or like closeness with family.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember asking some of my friends, like, oh, like how often do you talk to your family? We were all like in Savannah and they lived outside of Savannah.
Your American friends, you mean?
My American friends. And they were like, oh, we're super close. We speak like once a month. And I see them like maybe every 3 months. And it's like, what?
And they thought this was close.
It was very close.
Okay.
Like in Colombia, we see our family almost every day. I talk to my mom every single day of my life. I talk to my mom. Like
Your
we
mom comes
text.
to our house how many times a week?
Yeah, like 2 or 3 times a week.
Uh-huh.
For us, that is close.
Yeah, so you had an example of this. One thing that you found very funny about how people set up their lives in Colombia to welcome family and welcome social interactions, whereas in the States, they don't really even think about that, right?
For example, in my grandma's house, there's like honestly like a rack of 20 chairs that are for people when they come to visit. And they're always there because people are coming every day. So we're always like using them and everything.
Okay.
And there's always extra lunch for in case someone comes and passes by and wants to eat like lunch with us. Our mentality is like community, family. They're coming and they're part of my everyday, so I have to think that maybe they're going to come. One of my first experiences in the States, I was invited to a barbecue. I was going with a cousin and she was like, oh, like help me lift these chairs, we're taking the chairs. And I was like, why? Like, don't they have like chairs for the visit? We're coming and it's like, no, it's bring your own chair. And I was like, what?
Bring your own furniture.
That would never happen in Colombia.
Yeah.
We're buying a house, buying extra chairs for a party is like part of the thing.
Yeah. What was the next thing that you found very odd or very strange?
I needed to print some things and I went to the shop to print them and they double charged my credit card, but I didn't realize until I get back. And I got like, oh my God, they charged me a lot because it was like a lot of copies that I needed to
Yeah, and you were a
get.
student. So
And
you
I
don't have
was
that
a
much
student,
money.
and it was like $20 and they charged me 40 and I was like, no.
Oh.
Okay, I need to look for the receipt. Where did I left it? I was like in my looking at my bank account, like to show the woman and to say like, hey, you double like charge me.
Okay.
And when I went there, I was like, hey, you double charged me. And they were like, oh, okay, fine. They didn't ask me for any proof.
Okay.
And I was like, what? My word counts here?
Okay.
People believe me? In Colombia, that would never happen. Never.
What would they ask you for?
All the proof. It would take you maybe a week to get back your money or more. Or they would say like, oh, I don't know, we don't believe you or whatever.
Okay.
Like in Colombia, the customer service is not that good and not that efficient. Especially not that efficient because maybe they have a solution, but the solution is gonna take you 2 weeks. So are you going to go through 2 weeks to get $20 back?
How was it to come back and live in Colombia after that level of service?
I think at this point I'm already like used to it and I'm already in the mentality that it's gonna take a lot of time and a lot of calls. Sometimes I just schedule a whole morning to make a call to fix something in my bank account. What is that? Like I already know that it's gonna take a long time, so I don't stress about it. Another thing that I have done in the past is to pay someone to resolve me. For example, I need to do like a really long queue for a paper that I need.
Okay.
Once you go there, they're gonna tell you, oh, you need to go to this other place and you need to fill this form there and then you need to go and make this payment here. So I would just pay someone to do that.
All right, that's a big one. But do you have anything else? Any differences, major differences between Americans and Colombians?
I would say that Colombia is like a more homogeneous culture.
Okay.
Like people look a lot alike.
Okay.
In how they dress, how they act. For example, like the girls wearing like with long black hair and like wearing tight clothes. They listen to reggaeton. People look more alike.
Okay.
In like their style and like the things that they like to do. There's not that much difference.
Yes, I did notice this actually once. Once I went to a doctor's clinic. There was lots of nurses there. Like maybe 10 nurses at the same time behind getting some paperwork and stuff. And I was waiting for them to like give me something. So I was just looking, I'm like, if you put all these 10 women in a line, I wouldn't be able to pick who's who. Everybody has the exact same characteristics.
Yeah.
And this is Medellin I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They'll have like kind of the light skin, maybe like yours, maybe a little bit lighter. The pin straight black hair, maybe down to the waist.
Yes, exactly that. Like in the States, you're gonna find people from absolutely all the cultures.
Yeah.
With a lot of different interests.
Huh.
You're actually gonna find like a group, every little interest that you like. It's like more subcultures.
Subcultures.
In Colombia, maybe we have a smaller group of subcultures.
Uh-huh.
So that's why everyone like looks a little bit like the same.
So we covered a lot today, and we talked about some things which are good, but some things which are bad. But what's one thing that you saw in the US and you'll never get over how different it is and how much better it is in Colombia?
I think the sense of community, of like always thinking about your family and always thinking about as a group. We
Okay.
don't really think like as one individual. I really like that about Colombia.
Yeah, I think what you say is actually a big reason why a lot of people enjoy living in cities like Medellin is because, like, maybe in the US, you might live in an apartment building and for 10 years, you don't even know your neighbor. So they miss that sense of community. That's why they love coming here, and immediately it's very easy to meet people and meet friends and stuff. But if you want some more info on things that Colombians do that's very different to wherever you might be from, check out this video here because I think you're going to enjoy it.